Lab number 231. In this lab, we will start the real development of our mobile application called Comrade. And I said real because you should already finish the lab number 9.4, which was the prerequisite for this one. And in that lab, you are creating simple UI using Ionic Creator. And now we'll continue with the hands-on, with the development, with command line interface of our platform that we'll start using after moving the application to MobileFirst Platform. And basically, in case you're not finished the lab number 9.4 or something else happened, you can still use the lab files for lab number 231 and download the archive file of the Ionic project. So you should have it under dev workspaces comrade.io. On this step, you finish the lab number 9.4. In case you don't, just unzip the file from lab files here, so you should have this folder before you continue with this lab. So now let's start with opening the text editor. We'll use ATOM in this lab series, and we will open the project by clicking File, Add Project folder, and of course it's located under IBM Dev Workspaces Comrade.io right here. So as you can see, we have the Ionic structure, and we will also open a thing called term in the bottom pane. This will allow us to use the command line interface for Ionic without opening the terminal window. It's just the terminal window inside the ATOM text editor. So first of all, let's run Ionic serve, which will launch the live reload server. So now we have our app here, and it's not really pleasant to preview it in such dimensions. So let's do inspect element and enable device emulation. Let's also undock our developer tools from the Chromium window and resize the window so it will be able to fit exactly to our machine size. Just like that. So now basically we manage both to do a real-time development and see the results inside this window. Let's first of all open the index.html file inside the www folder and check what we have here. So as you can see, the structure that was created by default using Ionic Creator is not perfect. For example, it's for some reason downloading icons from the web instead of using the local ones and so on, and it's also doing the Angular initialization right inside the index file, and then it also have under JS folder the app.js, which is basically contains default Angular module which is not used currently in our app. So our first task will be to fix all that mess, to make our app look a bit more normal, let's say like this. And we will do it by copying everything that's located under script tag. So this Angular module and then the config. We'll cut it and replace everything that was in app.js with the things that we just cut it. Yeah, now we can save the app.js file. We can also remove the script tags from index file, and we will need to add actually the loading of our app.js. I will do it by copying this line and just duplicating it and doing the link to app.js here. And now we can save the index file. As you can see, our app is still working, which is good. So next step is to work with the styles. I will create a new folder called CSS under www, and let's also create a file, something like style CSS, in which we will place the styles. So basically, we'll start with this Angular Google Map container. It's not really needed here, of course. It just was created by default using Ionic Creator for some reason. Well, we will remove those styles, of course. And our style CSS will be used later on when we will start to apply custom styles to our application. So next thing for us is to kind of change this sync with the icons to be able to really make our app semi-offline. I mean, not downloading the icons from the web, not downloading any CSS files from the web. And to do that, we will just remove this line totally. So actually nothing else is needed because our icons are already located under lib and then fonts, and they are loading using the Ionic CSS file, so nothing else is needed. Then we will also modify the back button. As you can see now, when we click in the login, the back button is just a text back. We will make it look more native ones. So we'll remove the text back here, and we'll remove any classes here that represents the icons and so on. So our back button will be looking like the back button on a platform that we are using. For example, if our device will be something like Nexus 4, the back button will look like this. And if device will be, for example, iPhone 5, then the back button will be looking like this. So next thing that we will need to do is just a simple one. We will just close the live reload server by going to terminal window and entering Q. This will shut down the live reload, and we will also close basically the Atom text editor. So we've done that because now is the time to move our app to a MobileFirst platform. And for that, let's open the terminal. Let's navigate to Dev Workspaces and create MobileFirst Platform project. We will use the new functionality of MobileFirst Platform version 7.1, and I'm talking about Cordova application project. So basically we will create the Cordova app using MobileFirst Platform command line interface that will include MobileFirst Platform as the plugin for Cordova. So let's type in the terminal mfp Cordova create. Enter the name of the application. In our case, it will be Comrade. Yeah, IBM Comrade is normal package name. It's acceptable. The application version, let it be 1.0, it's okay. Our application will be only for Android because we are running Linux and we cannot really launch the iOS app because we don't have SDK and so on. And now we can click enter. So now basically we have an option to add additional plugins to our application, and we can check whatever we want here. So from this list, for our current application, we don't need anything, so we can just click enter and enter again. So let's type mfp Cordova create. Name of the app, in our case it will be Comrade. Then basically the package name, we can have the default one, just click enter, the same for version number. We will have only app for Android, so you should, with your arrows, go down for iOS, press space to deselect it, because we are only on Linux for now, and we are not able to create and build iOS app here. Well, we can create, but we cannot build, of course. So for now, we will go only with Android platform. Click enter again, and here basically we are able to select additional plugins that may need for our app to be working with some additional features like file management or splash screen or status bar, which is important, for example, for iOS application. But we don't need anything for now, so we can just click enter once again and once again. So now our project is creating and it's finished. So we should see the Comrade application Cordova application created inside our workspaces folder. So let's basically open this project with ATOM text editor. So we'll do just the same. We will remove the Ionic project. We will add basically the Comrade project, which is MobileFirst Platform project. You can see that the structure is almost the same. We still have the www folder in which we have some default structure, default files. So what we will do next, actually we will copy what we had in www from the Ionic folder, Ionic project. So everything that was here, and we will pass it inside www folder inside the Comrade project, which is our MobileFirst Platform project. Replacing everything that was there, just click merge. So the conflicts should be replaced and everything else will be merged. Yeah, just like this. So now basically we will have the index file from Ionic project. We'll have some JavaScript files, in this case it's index.js from initial project created by MobileFirst Platform command line interface. We'll have the image folder, which will represent some default things like icons and so on, created again by MobileFirst Platform. So we will continue from this step. And now basically the next thing that will be needed for us to do is to make this app working. So first of all, as you can see, this index.js file inside the JS folder is actually doing work like common init with some default steps. So we'll clean it a bit by removing several things. So first of all, we will remove this stuff inside, well, common init. We don't need it, we need just basic initialization. We also don't need this stuff, and we will also initiate the connection to the server once libraries for MobileFirst Platform will be loaded. So let's do it by typing val client connect. So that's it. Next thing, we will need to load index.js inside the index.html file. So we will do it right before closing the body. Something like this. Next step is to load Cordova inside our app. This will be pretty simple. We just need, for example, here to load Cordova.js file. Just like this. This will allow us to load Cordova stuff and our app will be able to load the Cordova plugins afterwards, the MobileFirst platform itself, because it's now Cordova plugin and so on. So basically, we also need to change the styles a bit. So in style CSS, let's add body position to absolute. Otherwise, we won't be able to see our mobile application. Just like this. We also need to load actually the style CSS inside the index.html file. I will do it by duplicating this line. And let's also remove in app.js this Ionic platform initialization. We don't need it. Just like this. So yeah, save all files, and now we can proceed with the actually deployment and running our app on MobileFirst platform. So for that, we will go back to terminal and create one more project. Actually, this project will be a server-side project, so we'll create it using mfp create, and let's name it Comrade Server. So this project, let's navigate inside, will be actually a project which will contain a server configuration in which we will develop adapter later on. But right now we just need to create a server instance. So we'll do it by using the command mfp server create. Previous command mfp create server was deprecated, so this one is what you need to use starting from now. So server creation is pretty quick, and now we can start created server. This one will be longer, probably up to 10 seconds. Our server started, so on this step we can actually close this terminal. We will open it inside a term package. So again, bottom pane, just like this. So basically what we will do next, we will try to preview our application using the web browser by typing mfp preview. We'll select the simple browser rendering from the options. We'll later get used to mobile browser simulator. So right now, just the simple browser rendering. It will actually prepare the app, so it will do a build and then do a push of this app to a server, and we will be able to see the app inside the browser. So let's open developer tools to verify that actually server is able to accept the connection. Yep. So as you can see, basically we connected to a server. We have here some default errors like missing icon. It's okay. Cordova.js file that is not found is okay also, because actually we will be seeing this error only on a web browser and it will be working fine during the launch on our device. Not authorized is also okay because we are not performing any authentication for now. Let's preview our app on iPhone 6, for example. Yep, we can see that it's working just as we expected. So we can finish with this preview, just type Ctrl+C. And next thing, we will try to view our application on device emulator. So for that, open the emulator. It will take some time to launch. Just like this. And let's type mfp Cordova emulate. We need to select emulator 5554 from the list. So our app will be built. The native project for Android will be built. We will create a binary with the debug flag, and this binary will be installed in a few moments to our emulator, and probably we'll be able to see the working application. Well, this is not really application for now, but at least working prototype. So here we go. Our application launched. We can see that it's working. Let's also verify connection to server. So for that, we will open the browser. Go to More Tools, Inspect Devices, and inspect this login page. So what do we have here? Actually, here we are able to do the same debugging of our mobile app as we were doing in a normal browser, but this time we are debugging actually the application, the web application inside Cordova on mobile device. So as you can see, it cannot find the avatar image, which is here, but it's okay. And let's also open the console, MobileFirst Platform console, to verify that device is there and it's connected. So for doing that, we will need to navigate to localhost port 10,080, and context is Worklight console. Username is admin and password is the same. So as you can see, here we go. There is an application that we deployed called Comrade. It has one Android environments and has one active device right now. So we can check it. Yeah, preview done. Yeah, so we actually don't see the device. We just see the browser in which we were trying to preview our application. So we need to check the config. Let's open the config XML file with lowercase c. And at the bottom, there will be a configuration of the server that we are trying to connect from a device. So we need to change this IP from this one to the IP address of the network. In my case, it shows here. So for you, it may be a different address. So basically, let's do this change. Runtime in our case is the Cordova server. sorry, Comrade server, and display name is Comrade. Just like this. We can also do this change actually by editing the server config through the command mfp server edit, or add a new one with the new reference, but it's easier to do it just from the text, because we are already here in our text editor. So basically, let's continue with a bit of debug. We will need to add some login steps to be able to understand that connection is really successful from the browser, because as you noticed the last time, it doesn't show actually the errors. It's because it's just the browser, and we need to parse the logcat to see the actual errors. But we can do a manual login into the console, so we will be able to see those things. It should look like this. So in our index.js, inside the client connect, we will implement two callbacks. One will be on success. So in this case, if the connection will be successful to our server, let's do the login like connected to MFP server, something like that. And in case we were not successful, we can just copy this, and on failure callback, we will say that failed to connect, and let's save the file. Now we need to do once again Cordova emulate. Again, we need to select the emulator. Okay. So our app is started. Let's go back to console and inspect our device. So as you can see, now we connected to a server. This is our custom login with a console log. Basically, the final thing that we need to do is to check the operational console. We should see two devices, and second one is our device, that Android SDK emulator with version 5.1 that we just used. So on this step, our lab number 231 is finished. Thank you.